Hello, how are you?
Hello, Jacob. How are you? I'm well. Nice to see your face.
It's good to catch up again. Yes. So I thought it might be a cool idea to do a little chat today in place of the regular Flosstube schedule, because well, we have quite a few exciting things that we're sort of working on, have already been released, are being released, etc. One of those things is for this Christmas, the Advent stitch along thing. And I thought like it would be, instead of me waffling on my own video about it, and like people have to buy it from you, I thought like it might be a good idea to invite you onto my channel and then you tell what's going on there.
Well, thank you. Yes, thank you. So it's the holiday countdown. And I believe I sort of approached you, what, maybe 6 weeks ago with the idea. And, you know, you were, as always, very, you know, you're in with both feet. You're ready to go. So yeah, so what we're doing is it's going to be something that we're selling now that's going to be available to ship mid-October. To start opening on December 1st. And then it's going to be 25 days of daily treat that you open every day, and it's a stitch along. So there will be floss, there will be fabric, so linen or Aida. There will be a few extra treats, a few things in there. Now this does not have a project bag, this holiday countdown. It is simply focusing on linen, Aida, floss, and beautiful chart from Jacob. And I, Caroline, off the Grid Needle Arts, will be hosting a stitch along. So yeah, every day in December, I'm going to post a video on my channel, which is Off the Grid Needle Arts, and I'm going to open the holiday countdown on camera, and I'm going to lead the stitch along, and I'm going to keep up. That's my plan. I'm going to keep up every single day.
which is super exciting, because I want to join in on this one as well, because it's a really exciting thing I think that we're doing. And I totally should have introduced you, by the way, but I just sort of assumed like everyone knows Caroline because she's Flosstube as well. So it's like
no. Everybody knows Jacob.
No, but yeah, no. I when you asked me, I was like immediately sort of little bell started ringing. Like, ooh, this is exciting. We can do this. We can do this. So yeah. What really appealed to me of this was the idea of getting a little gift every single day that you sort of unwrap in the morning, and you get a piece of this stitch along puzzle. And even if, what I like as well, even if you don't want to do the daily thing, you get, by the end of it, you have a heap of floss, basically, an amazing heap of floss. And what I found so exciting was to design something with so many different colors that still work really well together, because Carrie is going to do an amazing job getting all those beautiful colors that
oh yes, which I didn't actually say that. These are Leo and Roxy Floss Co. floss. They are 25 brand new colors. So these are not going to be colors that are already in the catalog. These are new colors that are being released specifically for this countdown. And the fabric as well will be dyed by Carrie. So, and Jacob has already designed the chart, and I've seen it, and it's going to be super fun.
He's excited about it as well. He can't wait. Can you, Leah?
Yeah. So, you know, having a purpose for the daily floss surprise, I think, is what's really exciting for me. And I think, you know, it's fun. There's a purpose for it. And then, you know, a few little extra things up our sleeve as we go throughout the month.
Exactly, and that's what I'm really excited about the little extras as well. And I really like the idea that sort of what I had in my mind was like, you know, the cheesy Christmas crackers with the little extra thing, and you never know what you're going to get that as a little extra that day, which is something that really appeals to me. So that it's going to be a heap of fun, and I can't wait for people to join in, whether they choose to do the daily stitch thing, like set that as a goal, or just stitch whatever they like. But what I find the most exciting is the heap of floss you get at the end of the day, because there are some parts that use only a few, like maybe 120 crosses of one color.
Right.
So you get like a hank of floss, and you've got quite a bit of floss left by the end of it, and then
they're going to be full 8-yard skeins of floss, and
exactly.
You'll have a purpose for it at the beginning, but it also gives you an idea of what colors will go together. Now, to be clear, because I think it's important that people know this, they are not going to be traditional, you know, red, green, and gold Christmas holiday colors. They're a little bit more, they're still going to be holiday in spirit. The design is holiday in spirit, but this is something that's intended to be worked on and displayed year round. So I think
exactly.
Nice,
Which is something that I like as well, that it is something that you can look at in April and not go like, well, that should come down now. It's something you can just enjoy all year long. And that's the same with the colors. They are just universal colors that you can just really enjoy. The idea that I really like is that people can then use the flosses on other patterns in the future and just make their own little things and stitch smalls or big patterns with a whole bunch of those colors, and make a little sampler wall with different patterns and stuff, which I think is quite exciting. And they're just not going to get just one pattern and a bunch of floss, but there's a whole bunch of extras. But there are options, which is really nice as well. So you have made in your shop a whole bunch of different options. Maybe you want to tell a little bit about the different.
They can choose different fabric types. So we've got 4 different fabric counts. There's 28, 32, 36, and 40, as well as 2 counts of Aida. There's a 16 count and an 18 count Aida. I have been asked, a couple of customers have emailed and asked what the stitch count of the design is. And instead of giving away the stitch count, we calculated that it will fit nicely on an 1/8 of a yard of 28 count linen. And then we standardized that cut size across the board. So everybody, regardless of what count they're doing it on, they're getting an 1/8 of a yard of fabric. So obviously if it's 40 count, they'll have more fabric left over. 28 count will fit beautifully on that 1/8. But those are the options. There's also an option to purchase it without any fabric at all, if you'd like to use fabric from your stash. And the other thing that we're going to do, the reason why it's for sale now is so that we have enough time to make all of the things, prepare all of the things. These things take quite a lot of time. But in July, usually at Evertote, I usually do Christmas in July. Well, in July, we're going to make your charts for the holiday countdown. We're going to make those available for sale in July, just as the charts, because we're not going to be selling these as PDFs until after the holidays. So that though for everyone who is participating, it is an actual physical thing that you're opening every day. So if you wish to join in the stitch along, just with Jacob's charts and your own floss and your own fabric, in July we'll have those charts available, and then we'll mail them to you as a countdown where you'll get an individually packaged little chart every day, and you can follow along as well.
Exactly. And I don't know if you mentioned that, but the linen is also dyed by Leo and Roxy.
Correct. Yeah, and actually, it's we already have the colorway. It's called Panettone, and we're going to actually be starting to sell it in the shop soon, because it's a really, really wonderful neutral. It's the peanut brittle that we've started carrying recently.
Which is stunning, by the way.
It is gorgeous.
It is
Yeah.
really, really nice.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So Panettone is in the same color family, but it's lighter. So it's not as dark as peanut brittle. It's lighter, but it's still that sort of warmish brown, but on a lighter scale. Yeah, it's beautiful. So that's going to be the color of the fabric for the countdown.
It is super exciting. I am really excited. Honestly, this is one of the projects that I've worked on that I'm most excited about, this collaboration, because it's not just a pattern and some floss, but it's a whole thing, and it is kind of the spirit of the season as well. It is this element of surprise that is there, which makes it really, really nice. And I think it's quite safe to say that if you like the patterns that I do, then you're gonna like this a whole lot.
Without a shadow of a doubt. It's gonna be really fun.
And so they can get the design from the whole thing from your website, which is www.evertote.ca.
Correct.
So I'm saying those who don't know, and I feel like I shouldn't need to say that, but those who don't know, you are based in Canada and you will be shipping worldwide. And the idea is that everyone will have their kits in their homes well before the start date, so you don't have to stress about having to order something. And
correct.
So
that's why we're starting sales now.
Exactly.
We will probably cut sales off in 2 to 3 weeks, so that we know our numbers, and then our plan is starting in the middle of October to start shipping out international orders first. So anything that's going overseas to places like Australia, New Zealand, those orders are going to go first, and then we'll work our way through. Things should be shipped by the end of the first week of November, which should give plenty of time for packages to arrive for a December 1st start.
I think it's also good for people to know who are interested in it, not to wait too long going to your website, because I don't know if people realize how it works at making kits and stuff. But sometimes people are really disappointed that they have missed out on a kit because it's a limited edition, and it's not to generate an artificial sort of scarcity type thing, but it is physically just impossible to make above a certain amount of kits, because it's a lot of work for you guys to cut the floss, package every single thing, and make it this exciting sort of seasonal parcel, and then ship it all out. It is a humongous. I am really, really happy that I don't have to worry about that part. I just sit behind my computer going like, no, but it is it is a humongous amount of work, and hats off to all of you at Evertote for doing that and making that happen, because
Thank you. Yeah, so that's a really valid point that you make about the numbers that we are actually physically able to make. We are a small company. Carrie is an independent individual dyer. The numbers that are on the website are the actual numbers that we think that we can manage for an October ship date, because we have a lot, but we didn't want to get into a situation where we wouldn't be able to fulfill in good time the things that were ordered. Now, I do know we have had a little bit of difficulty with 40 count fabric in particular. I know the Zweigart, all of the linen and Ada is a Zweigart base.
Yeah.
The Zweigart factory has had some difficulty fulfilling fabric shipments.
Yes.
I know that they had, they were already a little bit behind because of COVID, and then they had a COVID outbreak at the factory, so they had to shut down again. And with everything else in the world at the moment right now with supply chain issues, it is part and parcel of all of that. So 40 count is quite limited. I think I have 20 total 40 count countdowns left. That's it.
I was going to say,
So
so
I
if you want them, you have to be very quick.
the 40 count, the other counts I have much more flexibility with, 28, 32, and 36. Those ones we will be able to do quite a bit more. But the 40 count is almost gone.
Yeah.
The ADA as well, we've got good stuff. And the ADA kits have been popular, which is really nice to see, because I love that we're able to offer both, because, for a variety of reasons, ADA is such a good tool for those who have problems seeing linen, or they just prefer stitching on it. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That's also something important, that people know that it's only full crosses. They don't have to worry about any specialty stitches. You're not going to be surprised with queen stitches, French knots.
Yeah.
None of that. None of that.
Yeah.
So it's just purely crosses, and because I really wanted for this one to be making something that is fun for everyone to stitch, and that's also like easy to do on Ada and fabrics like that. So it's
good.
It's I'm thrilled about this one.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
We have another collaboration going on right now, which is really exciting as well. So you asked me, well, you didn't ask me actually. You were telling me that John is doing an amazing. I keep calling it a charity run, which is completely wrong, because it's like a proper marathon that he's running, the New York Marathon, and he is running.
John is my husband.
Yes. See, I am just assuming that everyone knows everything. Caroline's husband is doing the New York Marathon, and he's running it for an amazing charity. Do you want to tell a little bit about that one as well?
Yes, of course. Yeah. So he ran the marathon last year, and the New York City Marathon happens in November, and he's decided to run it again this year. But this year he wanted to add a fundraising component to his race.
Yeah.
And so there were several there were more than several. There were many, many charities to choose from that you could join their team and raise money for their foundation. And it is not an insubstantial amount that you're sort of signing up to raise for. So you really do feel like you're contributing something, great to their cause. Yeah. So for the past few years in December, I have raised money for Muscular Dystrophy Canada in memory of my mother-in-law, John's mom, Bridget, who had a rare form of muscular dystrophy, and she passed away in 2015. So the first charity that we looked for was muscular dystrophy in the United States, but their race team was full. And so John was looking around at the other charities and said, well, I really still would like to choose one that's meaningful to me. And his mother actually passed away from a brain aneurysm. So when he saw that the Brain Aneurysm Foundation was a charity, he said, this is perfect. It's wonderful. I'd be, running memory of my mom and as well. So it's meaningful to us. And so he joined immediately. We got his link set up, and I said, well, I didn't really do a lot of fundraising for muscular dystrophy. And I said, why don't I help you out and see if we can, do some work on Flosstube. And I plan on doing some auctions on Instagram, just like I did 2 Decembers ago for muscular dystrophy, and raise money that way. And then I was speaking with you about it, and you very generously offered to do a pattern.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah. So at first I said I'll do a tiny pattern as a little freebie with the caveat, please donate some money.
Right.
But then I was like, he has to raise quite a bit of money. And I thought it is, a freebie is nice, but what if I do something a little bit bigger? And I was looking in the collection of the Met Museum, which is amazing, and the Met in New York, which is kind of funny because it's New York Marathon, so it sort of ties in quite nicely. But yeah, and they have an amazing collection of books, and one of those books was a fantastic pattern book with these beautiful sort of patterns from the I'm going to say 16th century. I think it is the 16th century. It's a very late 16th century, early 17th century, I believe. But if, oh no, sorry, it's this late 15th century, early 16th century. Doesn't matter. Very old.
No one's going to judge you if you're wrong.
I've had a weird day, and my brain is like, my numbers are all gone. It's very old. Let's put it that way. But it is very beautiful, and those patterns were really important in the history of basically embroidery and samplers. That these patterns were used, and they were adapted by early stitchers, and they sort of. Even though the books were way too expensive for most stitches, the patterns themselves would be copied from fillet work, crochet things, like lots of other sort of types of crafts, and they would then find their way on samplers, and they would literally go all over Europe and later all over the world, which is just quite stunning that these books had such a huge impact. And of course, those books also took inspiration from lots of different art things. And I saw this one design in this book, which was so stunning. So I started drawing out, because you have to remember that these are woodcuts and they're hundreds of years old, and they are not the easiest to read at all. They're really, really hard to read charts, but they're beautiful. They're like artworks in their own right. But I think most modern stitches would literally be like, how am I going to read stitching from this thing? It's literally like you need a magnifier with it to actually look at what the stitches are. So I thought, like, if I make a modern chart out of this, and then I use some elements from that book to create a completely new pattern that's still in the spirit of this gentleman's work, but becomes a new thing. And then I thought, like, no, because I am borrowing from this man's work, it would be nice to give away something as that as well. And then I thought, like, ooh, I could do that as the charity pattern. So that was the idea of the charity pattern for this one. So the pattern is 10 euros. It is a PDF only. It's not available anywhere else, and it won't be available anywhere else either. So it will only be available as a PDF. And 50% on my website, yes, on my website.
Your website.
And the 50% of the price is going to be donated to John's marathon kitty, basically.
Which is amazing.
And I just had a little look, and so far I believe we are on, because I have to do the conversion, and it's not the most attractive conversion, sadly, at the moment with US dollars and euros, but we are on about close to $900 right now. So I think
that is phenomenal. That's amazing.
Actually, when the video goes live, it will probably have just passed $900. So that's a nice chunk out of John's goal, which is
it's amazing. Yeah, we have a $5,000 US goal, so that's incredible. That's incredible.
It's honestly, my hats off to John, because I would rather sit and stitch for many hours.
Well, join the club.
Any physical activity, because I'm not a runner. I don't like it. Oh, that's nice. I love that. And this is on Leo and Roxy linen, isn't it?
And it's showing up very green in this lighting. But it's warmer, and that's Falu red. So there's the bottom left of the border, and it is just so beautiful. It's really a beautiful design.
And the name of the linen is
Peanut Brittle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's stunning. Yeah, but it is much warmer. The photos on your website, they do it justice.
Yeah, the photos on the website are pretty accurate, actually. Exactly. Yeah, nice, rich, warm brown. Yeah. So
my progress.
Wow. So it's beautiful.
I started on page 7 because I like to start in the lower corners.
Yeah, me too.
And I stitched page 7 first fully, and then I was going to go up actually, but then I wanted to finish the birdie, so that had to go to page 8.
Those birdies are really cute.
They are,
and I love the little staircase motifs. They're just fun to stitch.
So this is the weirdest thing, because what I like is that it's like a proper negative space here. This design, this border. And again, like, this is something that is from Bernard's books, basically, these patterns, except for this one, which is an interpretation of this little thing here as a corner that I wanted to sort of add. But you've used fun.
It's beautiful.
thank you. But I used the book as a jumping point how people back then would sort of do design stuff as well. They take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, mix it all together, add some new things to it. But the fun thing is this little staircase that you was mentioning, I thought like, oh God, that's such a huge chunk of black. I was like, oh, it's really boring. And you know what? I sat in the evening with, where is it? These super sexy glasses on. And I enjoyed it so much. And before I knew I had done it, I was like, oh, it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
And I felt really sad because it was so nice, because it's so mindless, because it was literally like, I know the pattern now. I need to go all the way up just before the end, and then just like, and just sort of go. And
that is my favorite kind of stitching. I love it.
What I really like is, see this here, the variegation. This is, by the way, Gomez that I'm stitching.
Right.
And to look at the variegation.
Leo and Roxy floss. Gomez has a blue undertone and variegation.
Has a really gorgeous. Yeah, you can. It is grey, but it is like it has this blue sheen to it, which is absolutely stunning. And it's it's a very nice one. And I think because we're gonna do black sampler November again. I don't know how much Gomez there is in stock, but I have already ordered a whole bunch, which is Hannah, which is one of your.
Your parcel left a few days ago, and it was rather substantial.
I was like, I need all the Gomez, because it is honestly, it is, and I'm planning. I've got a new design coming up. You've seen a photo of it already, which is very exciting, and that's going to be a really big project, a period sampler, and then it's going to be all black. It's going to be super beautiful.
Man,
I can't wait.
That's gonna just like blow people's minds. It's astonishing.
I can't wait. Actually, I'm going to chart parts of it and do that separately as well, because I think it might be too intimidating for a lot of folks to just get the whole thing. So you can also get some of the elements, but we'll talk about that later.
That's going to be really good. Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, Caroline, thank you so much for sitting down with me and having a little chat and telling us a little bit about the super exciting December stitch-along project.
Holiday countdown. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. I cannot wait. It's going to be really fun.
Exactly. I'm going to
thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming. I was going to say, I'm going to put links in the description box downstairs. There will be the hashtag for this stitch along, because we've got a nice hashtag that we're using on that, and the links for the pattern for this one, where you can get the PDF, and all of the links to Caroline's website, because there's so many different options. I'm just going to link to Caroline's website, and then you can just sort of roam through the lovely fabrics. And
there's only one button for the holiday countdown, and all of the options are right in there. They're
exactly.
It's all in one place. You don't have
to.
Exactly.
It's a nice big black and white picture, holiday countdown. Just click on that and it will take you there. But I'm going to link to your website because there's tons of nice stuff there. So yeah.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you so much. And we'll catch up soon again. And thank you everyone for watching today. And happy stitching. Look after one another, and see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.